You are what they refer to. These are not my words, okay? This is their words.
Who is that?
The people that are perpetrating this hoax on us.
Okay.
You are referred to them by them as a useful idiot. Welcome, truth seekers. Sinkers? Seekers. Okay. Hey. Okay, so there was a someone come up earlier in the day and said, hey, there's a bunch of people down at Jackson Square passing out climate change flyers. I said, good, I hope one of them come by and speak to me. One of them did. And God bless her, sweetheart. We had a good talk. I don't know. Maybe I hit a chord. She certainly had wherewithal to listen. She's very polite. And maybe I can get her to think. Scared me at the beginning, though, when she brought up that, she's working with a bunch of social justice warrior advocates. And oh, God, this ain't going to turn out well. But it did. It did. As I said, it was a good conversation. I did most of the talking, but she did ask some questions along the way. So, whatever. You know the routine. If you like it, you like it. If you care, you share. If you can contribute. Go to my PayPal account at BadassUncleSam76@gmail.com. Subscribestar.com. Badass Uncle Sam, and pick a tier. Okay. Can't do anything else. Pray for me. I'll see you in the flip end. How you doing?
Good, alright, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
Alright.
Yes.
A lot of red, white, and blue here.
Amen. Amen. Yeah. So what's going on here? What you got going on?
Yeah, sure. So my name's Angie. I'm with Audubon, Louisiana, and right now, Audubon, Louisiana is part of a coalition of a whole bunch of nonprofits and environmental or social justice advocacy groups. They've made the Energy Future New Orleans Coalition, and they put a proposal in front of the City Council right now for a renewable portfolio standard that commits New Orleans, the city, to 100% renewable energy by the year 2040.
How is that going to work?
Yeah, so actually...
Because from my understanding, because if I may give you my background,
Sure.
I helped start the Institute for Environmental Alternatives, Professor Ron Cohn, in 1971 in Los Angeles.
Wow, okay.
I lived with scientists for 3 years and studied the environment. I have probably forgotten more than most people know about it. Now, what I know of today, and from the coalitions of today, is this. And I would beg you to do this, because I'm so grateful you to come up and speak to me, because I have never seen, and this is something I wonder about, I have never seen a debate with someone that believes in global warming, climate change, with a skeptic.
Okay.
Never.
Yeah.
You don't see it on TV, you don't see it online, and I always wonder, why not? Why wouldn't you have someone that believes in all of this talk to a skeptic, right? And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because they're both lying to us.
Interesting.
Yes, it is. There's something that either side brings up, ever. And it's so simple to look up and document it. And I would ask you to look it up and then wonder why.
Sure.
If you were to get on the internet and look up the history of weather and climate modification programs, you would see them going back to 1891 of government and private programs that we've spent billions and billions on. Military, government, private, to this current day, that modify climate weather. In 1954, I'm just going to give you a few examples. In 1954, President Eisenhower started the Department of Weather and Climate Modification. Lieutenant Ben Livingston took with that and ran with it, became known as the father of weather weapons, which we used in Vietnam from 68 to 72. When that was leaked out, the UN passed the UN Weather Weapons Treaty banning the use of weather weapons.
Okay. What does the weather weapon do?
Well, it could cause droughts. It can cause monsoons. Hurricanes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, right? I mean, if you look at Ben Livingston, listen to some of his, because he talks on lectures. You could listen to him. And
sure.
Matter of fact, he was on a program after Katrina and said, if you give me 4 planes, I could have knocked Katrina out. And then when he asked to come back in the program, he says, I can't come back on, they threaten my life.
Oh.
So President Kennedy said before the UN, and you can hear him say this, we'll use today's technology. This is in 64, he said this. We will use today's technology to control the weather. That's a quote. In 1997, a leaked Air Force document, 1,500 pages, Weather as a Force Multiplier, Controlling the Weather by 2025, 1,500 pages. You can read PDF files on the internet right now of how, indeed, they control the weather through oscillating radio waves, through ice crystals, HARP technology, you name it.
Interesting.
We have these weather weapons. China bragged publicly about making it snow for the Winter Olympics so much it closed down Saigon. They made recently, about a year ago, they came out with the bragging again, how they can make it rain over an area that's 3-4 times the size of Nebraska. Okay, so as I said, this is just a fraction of the documentation I'm bringing up as examples.
Right.
So again, I would ask you, with all this documentation out there showing that we indeed, can control weather and climate, why is it never brought up in any climate debate?
Well, I mean, I think that the scale of the problem is different between weather and climate. There's that. But it is,
I don't think so, because climate and weather, again, I studied this, so it's, they're integral, it's hand in glove. I mean, climate is only just an extension of weather. But recently, and again, this is probably why you never see debates in this, 500 scientists write the UN, there is no climate emergency. And these are, qualified climatologists. These are not students, these are qualified climatologists. Sure. Recent study by the Finnish scientist here, effective human activity in climate and significant. Now I would ask this, how much, they say CO2 is the big boogeyman, am I correct? That's what we got to reduce. Okay. How much CO2 is in the atmosphere right now?
No, I can't remember. I don't remember the statistic. I can't tell you.
Well, you should know that, because if they say it's too much of it, we got to know how much there is.
Right, and I've learned it.
Yeah, but why don't they come more out and, say, this is what it is and it should be down here. They should give us a number.
Sure.
Right.
I think it has to do with, it's like 80 gigatons is the margin.
I'll tell you what it is. It's
Okay,
0.04%. It's been that way for a long, long time. Now, it is a natural element of life, correct?
Yes.
All right. We breathe it out, they breathe it in.
Right.
So it's a reciprocal gas, goes around and around. Matter of fact, the more CO2, the bigger the plants grow.
Sure.
Thank you. So why shouldn't we have more plants? It's more food and everything else, right?
Sure.
Okay. So, one, how do we control this? Because again, no matter what we do, China and India is not going to stop producing. They produce more of it than we do. Mm-hmm. So if we're only producing, and our emissions have actually reduced even without regulation. We've reduced our emissions significantly.
Yeah.
So And China produces most of the plastic in the ocean, and everything else. So they're the more, India.
They're following in our example.
No, they're the ones doing it. We're reducing it.
Slightly now, yes, but we spent so many years being terrible about it.
Well, again, we've reduced that significantly over the past couple of decades.
Okay, yeah.
All right, now, again, back to point. With the fact that this stuff exists, we have weather weapons, it's never brought up, you never see a climate, a global warming proponent debating those 500 scientists. You don't see it. Why? So the deal is this, and here's what it is. Why do they keep it silent? Why? Why don't they want us to know? Because it comes down to this. They're flying to Davos in 170 jets to talk about climate change, right? So they're not, you got Obama buying a $15 mansion in the Hamptons. I thought that's supposed to flood. So they're not following their own dictates. They preach to us that we got to reduce our consumption while they consume more. So it's pretty hypocritical of them, isn't it?
Sure.
Thank you. So you have these hypocrites preaching to us that we got to lower our standard of living while they raise theirs. It sounds a bit like socialism, doesn't it? Now, yeah. So here's the point. It's not about the weather and climate. That's bull. It's about control. If they can convince us that what they're doing with the climate is our fault, if they're manipulating the climate, which they are doing, and if the anomalies in the climate are happening because of their weather manipulation programs, and they're screwing it up, they can turn around and then blame us. But see, it's your fault. It's not ours. It's your fault. So it's your carbon footprint that's doing this. You've got to reduce your carbon footprint. So it's your fault. So they reduce our standard of living, tax us more, so we cannot, live properly. So it is all about control. And young lady, God bless you. I know you mean well. I know you really care. But you are what they refer to. And these are not my words, okay? This is their words.
Who is that?
The people that are perpetrating this hoax on us.
Okay.
You are referred to them by them as a useful idiot. You're believing their bull, and then you're going out with this stuff, giving them the power they need to suppress us.
Is it really suppression though? If we're working on this new industry that's growing
But here's another fallacy with this industry. Where, if you're saying, all the electrical power, right, electric cars,
Sure, yeah.
Where does that power come from?
Well, we're able to harness it from the sun, the wind.
In order for us to harness enough power to, again, and then the batteries have to be mined, that's human labor, and then you're talking about a great deal of waste there. If you look up hemp batteries actually produce 100 times more energy than lithium batteries do. But they don't allow us to use them because that's natural. They'd rather go ahead and keep us under the economic thumb. So, I'll give you a documentary to watch.
Okay, yeah.
This is fascinating. You're going to love this.
Cool.
You're familiar with Procter & Gamble?
Yeah.
Of course, who isn't, right?
Right.
Foster Gamble, heir to that vast fortune, groomed to be a 0.0000001%, has an epiphany, and he goes, the elites I'm surrounded by are insane. They want to control mankind and crush them. He broke from that agenda, and he made this documentary. You want to write this down and watch it, called Thrive, THRIVE. The very first thing he shows is the government cover-ups for over 100 years. The very first one he shows is free energy suppression. Not solar, not wind, not any of this garbage that they're bringing up. It's all bull. It's all bull. It's inefficient. It won't work. But it's inefficient. I've studied it for years. I know this. I talk to energy guys out here all the time. It's inefficient. It won't work. Matter of fact, I had a laugh yesterday in the news. There was a cop that was in a Tesla car, ran out of, as he was chasing someone, he ran out of battery power. So, all right, so I understand it. Anyway, watch this documentary. First thing he shows there is that we've had free energy machines for over 100 years. They suppressed. Tesla, Nikolai Tesla, not the Tesla that jackass had ripped off his name, but Nikolai Tesla, are you familiar with Nikolai Tesla? Was funded by J.P. Morgan to come up with a source of energy other than fossil. He did. He walked in with that machine. He goes, here it is. Here it is. Draws energy out of the atmosphere. Forever. Free energy. Clean, efficient, no polluting, free.
Interesting.
Morgan went, well, where do you plug it in? How do we meter it? He says, no, there's no meter. People buy this thing. They put it in their house. It lasts forever. Put it in your car. It'll drive forever. Never pull into a gas station. They burned down his laboratory and put him in obscurity. Thrive, Thrive. Since then, the powers that you're working for have bought up every patent on Tesla's machines or offshoots of it, and intimidated inventors, killed inventors that have come up with offshoots of this free energy. So all of this stuff you're promoting is all about promoting the elite's agenda to control us. It's all about control, has zero to do with the environment, because if that were true, they wouldn't be buying mansions on the Hamptons. They wouldn't be flying around in 747s to the global warming conferences. They wouldn't be the hypocrites they are.
Okay, well, I mean, we can think that they're hypocrites and still think that this is happening, but can I just leave this with you and I'll check out that documentary?
I'd be happy to read it.
Great. So a really important component of this that has nothing to do with global warming and climate change at all is natural disaster resiliency here in New Orleans. So using microgrids and more efficient grid systems and community solar.
I'm 100% behind the coastal restoration and the fact that we do pollute. Yeah. And the fact that we do need to take better care of our environment. Great. I am 100% behind that.
Cool.
So yes, there are, as I say, I'm not, look, there are things we'd agree on. That's why I'm so glad you came by. There are things we can agree on, but one of the things when we first started the Institute for Environmental Alternatives that we were aware of, that because we were independent investigators, we were wary of the fact that government agents would infiltrate our program and try to use the things we found out to either suppress what we found out or to use what we found out to their agenda. So we were that was in 1971. So along the way, I've watched how they've overtaken the environmental movement and come up with this entire phony Green New Deal crap, which is all about control and has very little to do with the environment. They could give a fat crap about the environment. They don't care about that. All they care about is control. But I do agree with that we do pollute. I do agree we have to have coastal restoration. And thank you very much for listening to me. Yeah. And I hope that you take this to heart and look up some of the things that I said. History of climate and weather modification. Right? That's the name of the documentary.
Thrive.
Thank you very much. And then question why we never have debate with, scientists that are skeptics of the global warming with people that believe in it. Why won't they debate? Probably because they're running into people like me.
Sure.
Here's a get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton. It's good for any crime in the world.
That's okay.
You can go back and see this conversation we just had on my YouTube channel.
Sick. Love it. Hey, definitely keep that fire and...
I'm going to read it through thoroughly.
I'm going to sign my petition.
Oh, I don't think I'll have it.
All right. That's all right.
But, I'll read through this first and then I'll go to the site, and if I want to, I'll do it.
Yeah, lovely. If you support it, please talk to your city council members. It's coming up soon.
God bless you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Did I score one there? Do you believe that she might possibly go look up the information I mentioned? I think I put a question mark in there. All I can do is try. And all you can do is help me try. So, hit all the appropriate buttons and then, put something in the kitty. God bless you. Pray for me. I'm praying for you. See you on the streets.